Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a full face makeup tutorial on this sultry Kat Von D Serpentina look. If you're interested on how I achieve this look, please keep watching. So before we get started, I have already moisturized my face off camera, so I'm ready to get into it. Obviously, my hair gets in the way a lot when I'm trying to do my makeup, so I'm just popping it back with this fluffy headband I got from Daiso recently. So to start with, I'm just going in with my Too Faced Hangover primer. I love this primer for more everyday use because it's really nice and lightweight and also really refreshing and hydrating. So I'm just popping that in little spots over my face, and then I will just massage it in. Next, I'm taking my Benefit Porefessional primer and I'm just going to pop that in my T-zone and just under my eyes where I get most of my oily spots, just to help control that a little bit better, and just pop it where my pores are most obvious. Next, I'm going in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Foundation in the shade Light Medium Beige. This is quite a full coverage foundation and it's one of my favourites. I feel like it lasts quite a long time and provides a really nice matte finish. So once I've finished popping that on my face, I'm just taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend that foundation out using the rounded end. My beauty blender is my favourite for foundation application. It just provides such a gorgeous, flawless finish, as I'm sure most people would agree. Such a great invention. Next, I'm taking my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Fair. I'm just going to apply this under my eyes, a little bit down my nose and a little bit on my chin. I don't do a great deal of contouring as it is, since my face is already quite skinny, and also, as I'm sure you can tell, my nose is pretty crooked, so my contouring adventures in the past have never been overly successful. So again, I'm just taking the rounded end of my beauty blender to blend that concealer out. For the under eye area, I always take the tapered end of the beauty blender just to help get into the corners of my eyes and right up underneath my eyes to blend that concealer out just that little bit better. Next, I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Loose Setting Powder, and using my Spectrum C03 brush, I'm just going to use that to set my under eye area. Next, I'm going in with my Too Faced powder brush from the Teddy Bear Hair collection, and because I tipped out a little bit too much of the setting powder, I'm just going to use the excess that I have to set the rest of my face. Usually I would go back and set my face with my pressed powder, but more often than not I accidentally tip out too much product of the loose powder and end up just using that. And that is my base done. Next, we're going to move on to eyebrows. Now, going in with my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 3, I'm just going to use that. First, I'm going to use the little brush to brush through all the hairs and make sure they're all facing the right direction, and they're all relatively tidy, before going in with the pencil end and just trying to sort of draw in sort of an outside line and fill in the middle a little bit. Now, my eyebrows are ordinarily pretty thick and disgusting, and I think I'm sort of nearly due for an eyebrow wax here, so please don't be too harsh on my disgusting eyebrows. Next, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in the shade Caramel. This is one of my favourite products to use to just help fill in the gaps of my eyebrows, since they are fairly thick. Just helps me cover a bit more space in a shorter amount of time due to the triangle tip. Last but not least, I'm just going to set my eyebrows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And now we're onto the eyes. Starting with my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, I'm just going to pop that all over my lid, just with the little wand that it comes with, and then just use my finger to blend it in. Now I'm taking an Anastasia Beverly Hills shadow in the shade Day Rate, which is like a fleshy pink colour, and using my Luxie 140 Tapered blender brush, I'm just going to blend that sort of all over the lid, focusing on the crease area, just to get a bit of powder going on to blend into. Next, I'm taking my Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease brush, and going into the Serpentina palette, I'm taking the shade Queen, and I'm just going to start blending that into the outer corner and the crease. I sort of take it quite far out towards the tip of my eyebrow, just to get that sultry look going on. Here I'm just taking my Illamasqua blender brush with no extra product, just to help smooth out those harsh lines and blend it out. Now I'm just going in with my Zoeva 231 Luxe Petit Crease brush, and just taking that shade Blood Milk and just working that into the outer corner and sort of the outer crease a little bit, just to deepen it up. Here I'm just going back with that Illamasqua blending brush just to blend out all the harsh lines and make it all mesh. Now I'm just going in with my Luxie 540 fan brush just to swipe away some of that excess. Now I'm just taking my Too Faced All Over Shadow Brush from the Teddy Bear Hair Collection and taking the shade Medusa and just working that into the middle part of my lid and towards the inner corner. Next, I'm just taking that shade Unk with that Petit crease brush that I used earlier and just very carefully popping that in the outer corner just to give it a bit of more depth. And just going over that with my Illamasqua blending brush, again just to blend it all together. Here I've just taken a little bit of that shade Blood Milk just to work that into that Unk shade and just help it all blend a little bit better. Now I'm just using that Luxie Tapered blending brush with a bit of Blood Milk just to work that in the sort of eye line, waterline area. I've used a bigger brush because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker than if I was to use like a pencil brush. Now I'm just taking some Too Faced glitter glue and I'm just using my finger. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that right in the center of my lid where those shadows sort of meet and just sort of working that out. Now I'm using the Profit Gold pigment that came with the palette and just using a damp eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to start applying that just on the center of the lid where I applied the glitter glue. Using a blender brush, I'm just taking Medusa and Queen and I'm just blending out the edges of that pigment color. Now I'm just taking Urban Decay's Midnight Cowgirl single eyeshadow color using an XO Beauty short eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to apply that to the inner corners of my eyes. I absolutely love this eyeshadow for highlighting the inner corners of my eyes. I think it just has the perfect amount of shimmer and champagne to it, and so I really use it a lot. Now I'm just using my Guerlain Ultra Black eyeliner pen and I'm just going to do a bit of a winged liner. While I was doing this makeup look, I had a bit of trouble with this pen. I think it's not really the best to go over the top of pigment, so I ended up having to swap to my Too Faced liner pen, which you'll see a little bit later. So like I said earlier, just going over the top of that with my Too Faced sketch marker in You're So Too Faced, or the black colour, just because the Guerlain really struggled to go over the top of that pigment. So the mascara I'm using today is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's my absolute favourite, my 100% go-to. I actually don't think I really use any other mascara, to be honest, and I'm just going to apply that to my lashes. So now that the eye look is pretty much done, we can move on to the rest of the face. So taking my Chocolate Soleil bronzer by Too Faced, I'm just going to bronze under my cheekbones, my temples, and just under my chin with my Mr. Right brush. Now I'm just taking my Chi Chi angled blush brush and my MAC beauty powder in Yum 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 from the Nutcracker Sweet Holiday Collection from this year, and just applying that as a blush over my cheeks. Now I'm just using my Real Techniques setting brush and taking my MAC Sweet Copper Compact, also from this year's holiday collection. I'm just going to be using the Whisper of Guilt shade, which is at the top, to highlight my cheeks, just down my nose and my Cupid's bow. Now on to the lips. I'm just getting started with a lip scrub just to exfoliate before we get into anything else. Once we've done exfoliating, I'm just taking my Josie Maran Argan Oil, just a little bit, just for a bit of moisturization before we apply a matte lip color. So the lip color I'm going with today is the Kylie Cosmetics lip kit in the color Spice, which was from her Halloween release, and I'm just starting off with the lip liner just to line the lips. Now I'm just going in with the matching matte liquid lipstick that came with the lip kit. I realised while I was applying this colour that it can come across a little bit on the patchy and streaky side, which is not uncommon for Kylie's darker colours, but with a little bit of work I think it turned out pretty okay. And now for the eyelashes. So I am pretty terrible at applying eyelashes on even the best of days, so I just did those off camera just so that I could sort of get them done. Last but not least is of course setting spray. I use the oil-free version from Urban Decay because I tend to have oily skin as it is. So that is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.